The Outeniqua Pass is a relatively modern pass connecting the coastal town of George with Oudtshoorn and the Little Karoo. It was first built in 1951 to provide an alternative to the old Montague Pass, which was too steep and narrow. It has been widened and modernized several times since then, and today carries the bulk of the traffic flow between the two towns and the Langkloof. Rockfalls and trucking accidents close this pass from time to time. The higher reaches of the pass are subject to heavy rainfall and dense mountain mists, which can reduce visibility to just a few meters. Under such conditions, this pass is dangerous, especially due to the volume of commercial traffic that it carries. It contains 40 bends, corners and curves, many of which exceed 90 degrees. The road is, however, well engineered, but it is advisable to stick to the speed limits, which have been carefully calculated to get you safely over the pass. For southbound traffic there are several excellent view sites, and the third one down from the summit is particularly impressive, which is marked by the 4 passes sign. From this vantage point, all 4 passes can still be seen, one of which dates back to over 150 years. The pass has an altitude variance of 581 meters and is quite long at 13.3 kilometers, producing an average gradient of 1 in 23, with the steepest sections being at 1 in 10. The pass was filmed travelling in a southerly direction and starts at the end of the last farm on the ascent from the fertile valley immediately to the north of the pass, where most of the South African hops production is grown. The gradients along this northern ascent range between 1 in 14 and 1 in 11. Be aware of many large slow-moving trucks on this section of the pass. The road ascends in a series of sweeping S-bends and reaches the summit after 2 kilometers via a deep cutting through a nose of solid bedrock. Just before the summit is reached, there's a small road leading off towards the left. This leads to a radio tower, and it's worth pausing here to take in the expansive views of the coastal plateau far below, whilst being surrounded by several peaks of the Outeniqua range. The road is in a good condition, but it's frequently shrouded in mist or falls above the cloud base. The upper reaches of the pass are frequently wet and sometimes can be dangerous. Obey the speed limits, which range between 60 and 100 km per hour, and there should be no issues. The 800-meter high summit point comes up at the apex of a sharp right-hand bend. As the cutting is cleared, a magnificent view to the south presents itself. Along this next straight section, substantial catchwalls can be seen on the right-hand side. These were added in the mid-1990s after a major rockfall closed the pass. The road now descends in a series of steep sweeping curves, providing beautiful views all the way down. Look up on the high side, as there are almost always several small waterfalls which can be seen cascading down the mountainside. In 1937, Mr. P.A. de Villiers, then location engineer with the National Roads Board, sought and then developed a route down the western slopes of the Malgas River Valley after considerable field investigations, which included a reconnaissance flight over the area. His proposed alignment was eventually accepted for construction. The first view site comes up at the 5.1 kilometer mark, and it's well worth stopping here. There are a total of 4 rest areas, and all of them are immaculately clean and beautifully maintained. This route, like most pass alignments, was not without its snags and challenges, but with modern road building expertise and machinery, it was possible to construct a pass to acceptable standards. To satisfy the usual contrasting demands of adequate standards and economy of construction, a 7-meter carriageway with a maximum gradient of 6% and a minimum curve radius of 90 meters was decided on. Unfortunately, vandals have stolen all the copper and brass commemorative plaques. Be sure to watch parts 2 and 3 of the magnificent Outeniqua Pass.